Have you ever wondered what truly happens in a man's mind when he realizes he's lost you? Not just your presence, but the essence of who you are, your depth, your strength, your unwavering support. It's a story few men will openly tell, yet one that profoundly shapes them. Here's the truth. Men don't process loss the same way women do. They don't cry it out, talk it out, or confront it immediately. No, they bury it deep, masking it with distractions, pretending it doesn't matter. But what if I told you that underneath the facade, there's a storm brewing, a transformation unfolding as your absence begins to speak louder than your presence ever did? Let's challenge a common misconception, that men move on quickly and effortlessly. Society may paint them as unemotional, but this couldn't be further from the truth. What men truly feel when they lose someone significant is a labyrinth of emotions they struggle to navigate. And here's where it gets fascinating. Your absence doesn't just create a void, it becomes a mirror, forcing him to confront parts of himself he never expected. Intrigued? You should be, because this isn't just about him. It's about you, your power, and how Stoicism and Dark Stoic Psychology intertwine to shape not only his awakening but also your own growth. In this journey, we'll uncover 9 profound shifts he experiences when he realizes he's lost you. These aren't mere feelings, they're revelations. Each stage peels back another layer, exposing truths that change how he views himself, you, and what he lets slip away. Are you ready to explore the depths of this transformation and see how it intertwines with your own path to self-respect and resilience? Let's begin. 1. The void of stability. The realization often starts with an emptiness, a subtle yet persistent void that he can't quite place. At first, he convinces himself it's just the change in routine, the loss of a familiar presence. It's normal, he thinks. But as time passes, the truth begins to emerge. He's lost something far more profound than he ever anticipated. He's lost the stability you brought into his life, the grounding force that kept him steady when life felt overwhelming. Think about it. In every relationship, there's a silent dynamic, a balance of energies. You were the calm to his storm, the anchor in his sea of chaos. Maybe he didn't see it at the time. Perhaps he mistook your steadiness for simplicity, your support for something ordinary. But now, without you, the absence speaks louder than words. The world feels unmoored. He faces challenges without the quiet strength you always offered, and suddenly, the weight of your value becomes undeniable. He tries to fill the void. Maybe it's through fleeting connections, burying himself in work, or distracting himself with hobbies. But here's the thing about true stability, it's irreplaceable. No amount of external noise can drown out the quiet emptiness inside when he knows he's lost someone who truly grounded him. Your presence wasn't just comforting, it was transformative. You brought a unique kind of peace, a steady energy that allowed him to thrive. This is where Dark Stoic Psychology reveals its power. By stepping back, you didn't just create absence, you created space for reflection, forcing him to see what he'd taken for granted. Stoicism teaches us that loss can be a teacher, a path to wisdom. For him, this wisdom arrives like a wave, crashing against the realization of what he no longer has. But here's the critical part. This isn't about you waiting for his recognition. It's about understanding your worth, knowing that the stability you offer is a gift, not a given. His journey through this void is his own, but it also highlights the strength you possess. The kind of stability you provide is a reflection of your inner strength, your ability to remain grounded even when others falter. As he navigates this void, the question arises, will he see it as an opportunity to grow, to become the kind of man who values what truly matters? Or will he let the void consume him, mistaking it for something external rather than the internal loss it represents? For you, the lesson is clear. Never underestimate the power of your presence and the impact of your absence. You are the foundation, the stability that others lean on. But more importantly, you are own anchor. Whether he realizes your value or not, your worth remains constant, unshaken by his recognition or lack thereof. The void he feels is his journey to navigate, but your strength, that belongs to you. 2. Envying your peace of mind. As the void settles in, something else begins to emerge, a feeling he can't quite shake, one that grows stronger the more he observes you from a distance. It's envy, but not the petty, superficial kind. No, this is something deeper, more unsettling. He starts to envy your peace of mind, that steady, unshaken calm that you carry like a quiet superpower. From his perspective, it's almost baffling. How is it that you seem so composed, so focused, so untouched by the loss that's unraveling him? He might have expected you to fall apart, to reach out, to prove that you miss him as much as he misses you. But instead, you stand tall, resilient, radiant, and completely at ease with yourself. Your peace of mind isn't just a facade. It's something you've earned, cultivated through introspection, self-respect, and an unwavering commitment to your own growth. And this is where Dark Stoic Psychology comes into play. Your calm doesn't come from indifference. It comes from mastery over your emotions, your reactions, and your life. You've learned that true strength isn't loud or dramatic. It's quiet, composed, and rooted in a deep sense of self-worth. For him, this calm is both mesmerizing and haunting. It's a mirror reflecting his own turmoil, a reminder that while he's spinning in circles, you're sailing forward with purpose. And here's the kicker: your peace doesn't beg for attention. It simply exists, undeniable and magnetic. The more he tries to distract himself, the more he's drawn back to the serenity you exude. This stage is where Stoicism shines brightest. By focusing on what you can control, your own mind, actions, and energy, you've achieved something rare: freedom from the need for external validation. You don't need his acknowledgement to feel whole. You don't need his presence to feel at peace. And that, to him, is equal parts inspiring and infuriating. So, what does he do with this envy? At first, he might downplay it. She's just pretending, he might tell himself. But deep down, he knows the truth. Your peace isn't for show. It's real, and it's a direct result of the inner work you've done, the same work he's avoided for far too long. This realization leaves him with a choice: continue to evade his feelings or confront them, using your calm as a blueprint for his own growth. But this isn't about him, is it? It's about you and the powerful example you're setting. Not just for him, but for anyone lucky enough to witness your journey. Your peace of mind is a testament to the strength of a woman who knows her worth, who refuses to let someone else's actions define her sense of self. As you reflect on this stage, ask yourself, how did you cultivate your peace? What steps did you take to build a life so deeply rooted in self-respect that even his absence couldn't shake it? If you're resonating with this message, like and comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me on this path. And don't stop there. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss another video designed to empower you, inspire you, and guide you through life's most transformative moments. Because this is just the beginning of your journey, and there's so much more to uncover. Stay tuned. 3. Reliving the memories. Once the envy settles in, something else begins to stir, a flood of memories. He starts replaying the moments you shared, like fragments of a movie playing over and over in his mind. But this time, they feel different. They aren't just happy recollections anymore. Now, every laugh, every deep conversation, every moment of connection is laced with a bittersweet edge, because he knows they're gone. At first, he might resist these memories. He'll bury himself in distractions, push the thoughts away, try to convince himself they don't matter. But memories have a way of surfacing when you least expect them, don't they? They slip in during the quiet moments, the pauses between distractions, forcing him to confront what he's lost. And what he starts to realize is that those memories aren't just about the past, they're a reflection of the irreplaceable presence you brought into his life. He'll remember the way you smiled when you caught him off guard with your wit, the warmth in your eyes when you believed in him, even when he doubted himself, and the quiet steadiness you carried that made everything feel a little less chaotic. And as he relives those moments, a new question begins to form. Why didn't I see this before? This is where regret creeps in, quietly at first but growing louder with each passing day. He starts to see the depth of what he had with you, how your presence wasn't just comforting but transformative. You didn't just share good times, you built something meaningful, something rooted in connection, understanding, and patience. The practice of Stoicism offers a powerful perspective here. It reminds us of momentum mori, the idea that everything in life, including relationships, is fleeting. For him, this realization arrives too late. He took the moments you shared for granted, assuming they would always be there, that you would always be there. But now, in the absence of your presence, the weight of those memories becomes almost unbearable. Every little detail hits harder now, the sound of your laughter, the way you challenged him to be better, the small but meaningful gestures that showed how deeply you cared. These memories are no longer just reflections of the past. They've become lessons in what he overlooked, in the quiet but powerful value of having someone like you by his side. But while he's caught in this whirlwind of memories, replaying what he lost, you're not stuck in the same loop. You've embraced those moments as part of your journey, as lessons that have shaped who you are today. You've learned to honor the past without letting it define your future. This is where your strength becomes even more evident. While he's reliving the memories with a sense of regret, you're carrying them forward as reminders of your own growth. Each memory, no matter how bittersweet, is a chapter in the story of your resilience and self-worth. You don't need to dwell on what was, because you're focused on what's ahead. As he replays those memories, he may wonder if you're doing the same. But the truth is, your journey has taken you somewhere he's only beginning to understand, a place where peace, growth, and self-respect are the guiding forces. And while he's stuck in the past, trying to make sense of what he lost, you're already writing the next chapter of your life, one that's filled with possibility and purpose. For him, these memories are a reckoning. For you, they're a stepping stone. The difference: you've chosen to let them propel you forward, while he's only just starting to see the weight of what he left behind. 4. Missing what he once overlooked. As the memories begin to fade into the background of his mind, a deeper realization starts to take shape. It's no longer just about the past or the moments you shared. It's about the qualities you embodied, the essence of who you are. He begins to miss the very things he once overlooked. The things he may have taken for granted now feel glaringly absent, like pieces of a puzzle he didn't know were missing until they were gone. He starts to notice it in the smallest ways, the way you always listened, not just to his words, but to what he wasn't saying, the way you showed patience when he was caught up in his own chaos, giving him space without judgment, the way you made him feel seen, respected, and valued in a world that often demanded he prove himself at every turn. These were the threads of stability and understanding that you wove into his life, threads he barely noticed until they unraveled in your absence. And now, as he looks at the relationships around him, he sees the stark contrast. Where he once found solace in your calm presence, there's now only noise. Where he once relied on your emotional intelligence to bring clarity to his tangled thoughts, there's only misunderstanding. He begins to understand something he couldn't see before. You were rare. The qualities you brought to his life weren't just admirable, they were extraordinary. This is the stage where regret deepens, but it also becomes more specific. It's not just about losing the relationship, It's about losing you, your depth, your kindness, your strength. He might try to find these qualities in others, chasing shadows of what he had with you, but the truth becomes clear. What you offered wasn't something easily replicated. It wasn't superficial or surface level. It was built on years of growth, self-respect, and authenticity. Dark Stoic Psychology offers a sharp lens through which to view this stage. By stepping away, you've forced him to confront the depth of what he's lost, not just in terms of connection but in terms of character. He begins to realize that while others may fill the space you left behind, they can't fill the void of who you are. The patience, the understanding, the unwavering support, all of these were born from your own strength, your own ability to navigate the complexities of life with grace and resilience. For him, this stage is humbling. It's a reckoning with his own choices and the recognition that he didn't fully value what was right in front of him. But for you, it's a testament to your own self-worth. The fact that your absence can create such an impact speaks volumes about the kind of person you are. And while he may be missing what he once overlooked, you've already moved forward, taking those same qualities and investing them in yourself and the life you're building. The question he's left with is haunting. How did I not see it? But the truth is, it was never about you not being enough. It was about him not being ready to appreciate what you offered. His realization, while profound, is not your profound, to bear responsibility to bear. You've already done the work to recognize your own worth, to see the value in what you bring to the table. And now, as he grapples with his loss, you're free to continue growing, unencumbered by his delayed understanding. This stage is bittersweet because it highlights the gap between recognition and timing. He sees your value now, but that recognition has come too late. For him, it's a lesson in what happens when you overlook the extraordinary in search of the ordinary. For you, it's a reminder that your worth isn't tied to someone else's ability to see it. It's intrinsic, unchanging, and yours to carry forward. And in that truth, you find your greatest strength. 5. When freedom feels like a burden. At first, he might have convinced himself that losing you was a kind of freedom. No more compromises, no more shared expectations, no more accountability to someone else's needs. It felt exhilarating, like a weight had been lifted. He could do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted, without checking in or considering how his actions might impact you. For a moment, it probably even felt empowering. But freedom is a double-edged sword. What begins as excitement quickly gives way to something darker, something heavier: isolation. The independence he once cherished starts to feel like a cage. The open road he imagined suddenly stretches into an endless, empty horizon, with no one to share the journey. He's left to face the quiet truth that freedom, without connection, can feel painfully hollow. Here's where things get interesting. As he navigates this solitude, he starts to understand what your presence truly meant. You weren't a limitation or a burden. You were a source of strength, a partner who amplified his life rather than restricted it. With you, freedom wasn't about escape. It was about growth, about the space to evolve together while maintaining individuality. Now, without you, freedom feels more like loneliness. The realization is slow but undeniable. He begins to notice the small ways your connection gave his life meaning. The shared laughter, the comforting silence, the way you supported his dreams without overshadowing your own. These weren't chains, they were foundations, the kind that make independence feel less like isolation and more like a choice. And now, with that foundation gone, he's left questioning the very thing he thought he wanted. This is where Stoicism offers a profound perspective. True strength isn't found in running from relationships or responsibilities. It's found in cultivating meaningful connections that enhance your resilience. By stepping away, you've allowed him to see the difference between fleeting independence and fulfilling partnership. Dark Stoic Psychology reveals the power in this. Your absence becomes a mirror, reflecting the reality of his choices and the consequences they carry. For you, this stage serves as a reminder that the right connection doesn't hinder your freedom, it enriches it. You've learned to balance independence with intimacy, to create a life where your strength and self-respect shine alongside the relationships you nurture. And while he's grappling with the weight of his solitude, you're thriving, unburdened by the need to prove your worth to anyone. But let's bring it back to him for a moment. He might not say it out loud, but he's starting to miss the balance you brought to his life. The quiet moments of connection, the way you made freedom feel like an adventure rather than a lonely pursuit. He's realizing that what he thought he wanted, a life without accountability, comes with a cost. And the cost is you. Now, let's take a moment to reflect. Have you ever seen someone struggle with the burden of their own choices, realizing too late that what they thought was freedom was actually emptiness? How did it change the way you view relationships and independence? If this part of the journey resonates with you, like this video and comment number 1 below to share your thoughts. And if you're finding these insights valuable, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us for more transformative conversations about self-respect, growth, and the power of stepping back. Together, we'll continue uncovering the lessons that help us thrive. 6. The shock of silence. It often begins quietly. A day passes, then a week, and the silence stretches longer than he anticipated. At first, he doesn't think much of it. He might even feel a sense of relief, as though the space between you is temporary and insignificant. But then, as the quiet grows louder, it dawns on him, you're not coming back. This realization doesn't hit all at once. It builds gradually, like the slow, steady toll of a distant bell. The moments when he expected to hear from you, to see your name flash on his phone, or feel the familiar comfort of your voice, are now filled with an unbroken quiet. And it's not just any silence. It's a silence that speaks volumes, a message of self-respect and boundaries that he didn't anticipate. At first, he might misinterpret it. He might think it's a game, a tactic to draw him back in. He replays the conversations you had, searching for a clue, a hidden signal that you're waiting for him to make a move. But as time passes, the truth becomes undeniable. This isn't about him, it's about you. You're choosing yourself, prioritizing your peace, and refusing to chase someone who couldn't see your worth. This silence becomes unsettling for him, not just because it's unexpected, but because it challenges the narrative he built for himself. He thought you would reach out, that you would try to mend what was broken, that you would wait. But instead, you've embraced the principles of stoicism, calm restraint, self-control, and the quiet power of letting go. Your lack of reaction isn't indifference, it's strength. It's a declaration that your self-worth doesn't hinge on his acknowledgement or actions. For him, this silence is a mirror. It reflects his choices back at him, forcing him to confront the consequences of what he let go. He begins to see how much he relied on your steady presence, your emotional generosity, and your willingness to bridge the gaps in the relationship. And now, without your voice to fill the silence, he's left with his own thoughts that grow heavier with each passing day. The shock of silence is profound because it disrupts his expectations. He might have believed he was the one in control, that he dictated the terms of your connection. But your silence flips the narrative. It reminds him that your strength lies in your ability to walk away when you're not valued, to create space for your own growth, rather than pouring yourself into a one-sided effort. And yet, this isn't about revenge or manipulation. Your silence isn't meant to hurt him, it's meant to heal you. It's a boundary, a way to reclaim your energy and redirect it toward your own well-being. In doing so, you're not just stepping back, you're stepping into your power. This is where Dark Stoic Psychology reveals its brilliance. By choosing not to engage, you're demonstrating a level of self-mastery that leaves a lasting impact. For him, the silence is a wake-up call. For you, it's a statement of self-respect. And while he wrestles with the weight of what your absence means, you're finding peace in the quiet, embracing the clarity that comes from choosing yourself. The shock of silence isn't just a moment of realization for him, it's a turning point for you, a testament to the power of stepping back and standing firm in your worth. 7. Longing for lost stability. As the silence continues, the next stage sets in, a deep and gnawing longing. It's not just about missing you or the memories you shared, it's something far more profound. He begins to crave the stability you brought into his life, the foundation you quietly built that he never truly appreciated until it was gone. You see, stability is one of those things we often take for granted when it's present, like a sturdy bridge we cross without a second thought. But the moment that bridge is gone, the chasm it once spanned becomes impossible to ignore. That's where he is now. He's standing on one side, looking across at everything you once provided, your calm reassurance, your unwavering support, your ability to ground him when the world felt chaotic. He notices it most during life's smaller moments. The conversations where you offered him perspective, gently nudging him toward clarity without ever imposing. The way you steadied his emotions, whether he was frustrated, overwhelmed, or lost in his own thoughts. And the way you never demanded more than he could give, yet somehow managed to inspire him to be better simply by being you. Without you, the world feels unsteady. He's left navigating challenges on his own, realizing just how much he leaned on you for balance. Perhaps he once thought of himself as independent, capable of standing on his own. But your absence forces him to confront the truth. Independence is hollow without meaningful connection, and the stability you provided wasn't a crutch, it was a strength, a partnership. This longing isn't just about the support you gave, it's also about the emotional safety he felt with you. You were the rare person who saw him fully, who didn't shy away from his vulnerabilities or flaws. You created a space where he could be himself without fear of judgment, and in that space, he found a kind of peace he didn't even know he needed. Now, as he tries to fill the void, he begins to see how irreplaceable that kind of stability is. The connections he turns to feel shallow, transactional, lacking the depth and sincerity you brought. He might try to distract himself, throwing himself into work or seeking out new relationships, but nothing quite compares to the foundation you built together. For you, this stage is a reminder of your power, not in what he's lost, but in what you provided. The stability you bring to a relationship is a reflection of your own inner strength, the work you've done to cultivate resilience, emotional intelligence, and self-respect. It's not something that can be easily replicated, and that's what makes it so valuable. This longing he feels isn't just for you, it's for the version of himself he was when he was with you. The grounded, supported, and steady version that your presence helped nurture. He begins to realize that the stability he now craves wasn't something external, it was the result of the connection you shared. And that connection was built on your ability to bring strength, clarity, and calm to every interaction. But here's the key. While he may feel this longing, it's not your burden to carry. The stability you provided wasn't meant to be a replacement for his own growth, it was a partnership. And now, as he faces the absence of that partnership, he has a choice: to wallow in what he's lost or to begin building the stability he once relied on you to provide. For you, this is a moment of affirmation. The strength and steadiness you bring are rare gifts, but they're gifts you've chosen to turn inward, investing in yourself and your future. While he may long for what he once overlooked, you've already moved forward, creating a life that honors your worth and the stability you carry within. His longing is a testament to what he's lost, but your strength is a testament to what you've gained. 8. The awakening to unmatched value. As time stretches on, the longing shifts into something sharper, more poignant. It's no longer just about the memories or the stability you provided. It's about the realization of your unmatched value. Slowly but surely he begins to understand that what you brought to his life wasn't just rare, it was extraordinary. At first, he may not have seen it. Like so many of us, he might have focused on the surface, the day-to-day routines, the occasional disagreements, the moments of calm that felt so natural they seemed almost mundane. But now, with the clarity that only absence can bring, he sees it all in a different light. He sees you. He starts to recognize the depth of your patience, the quiet wisdom you carried, and your ability to navigate life with grace and resilience. He recalls how you listened to him, not just hearing his words, but understanding the emotions behind them. He remembers the way you believed in him when he doubted himself, how you offered him space to grow without ever letting him feel unsupported. These qualities weren't just admirable, they were transformative. And now, as he looks around at the people in his life, he realizes just how rare those qualities are. He begins to compare, not out of pettiness, but because your absence has left a void that nothing else seems to fill. Every connection feels a little shallower, every interaction a little less meaningful. It's not that he's searching for a replica of you, it's that he's come to understand how unique you truly were. This is the stage where regret deepens, but it also becomes more personal. It's not just about the loss of a relationship, it's about the loss of you, the irreplaceable combination of strength, kindness, and integrity that defined your presence in his life. He realizes now that these qualities weren't just part of who you are. They were the foundation of what made your relationship so rare. The brilliance of Dark Stoic Psychology is evident here. By stepping back and letting your actions, or lack thereof, speak louder than words, you've allowed him to come to this realization on his own. You didn't need to explain your value or prove your worth. You simply chose yourself, and in doing so, you let your absence highlight what he once overlooked. For you, this is a powerful moment. It's a reminder that your worth has never been dependent on someone else's ability to see it. Your value is intrinsic, rooted in the qualities you've cultivated and the strength you carry. And while his awakening may feel bittersweet, it's also a testament to the impact you've had, not just on him, but on everyone fortunate enough to know you. He may wonder if it's too late. He may question whether there's a way to rebuild, to regain what's been lost. But for you, the focus isn't on his realization, it's on your growth. You've moved forward, investing in yourself and creating a life that reflects your values. His awakening doesn't change your path, it simply reaffirms what you've known all along. You are rare, and your value is unmatched. Take a moment to reflect on this. Have you ever had someone realize your worth too late? How did it change the way you see yourself and your relationships? Like this video and comment number 1 if this resonates with you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights into self-respect, growth, and the power of standing in your truth. There's so much more to uncover, and I promise you, the journey only gets better from here. Let's keep growing together. 9. Realizing your unwavering strength. The final stage of his realization is perhaps the most profound. It's not just about missing your presence, your stability, or even the rare qualities you embodied. It's about coming face to face with the sheer strength you carried, and how he failed to appreciate it until now. This strength, quiet yet unyielding, is what sets you apart and leaves an indelible mark on his mind. At first, he may have seen your calm as passivity, your ability to remain composed as indifference. But now, with distance and clarity, he understands that what you displayed wasn't weakness, it was mastery. The way you handled challenges, stayed true to your values, and navigated conflicts with grace was a reflection of an inner fortitude he didn't fully comprehend at the time. He starts to see it in the little things. The way you refuse to engage in unnecessary drama, choosing instead to protect your peace. The way you maintained your boundaries without ever being unkind. The way you carried yourself with dignity, even when circumstances were less than ideal. This wasn't the absence of emotion, it was the presence of control, a deliberate choice to prioritize your well-being over temporary satisfaction. This realization isn't easy for him. It forces him to confront not only what he lost, but also what he lacked. He begins to understand that your strength didn't come from needing others to validate you. It came from within, built on a foundation of self-respect, resilience, and a commitment to personal growth. And now, as he reflects on his own actions, he may feel the sting of knowing that he didn't match that strength, that he took it for granted while it was in front of him. For you, this is a pivotal moment. His recognition of your strength is affirming, but it doesn't define you. The power you carry has always been yours, independent of whether someone else saw it or not. You've cultivated it through life's challenges, through choosing yourself even when it was difficult, and through embracing the principles of Stoicism, focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. Your unwavering strength has shaped not only your past relationships but also your future. It's what allows you to walk away from what doesn't serve you, to set boundaries that protect your peace, and to move forward with clarity and purpose. And while he may now see the value of that strength, it's you who benefits most from it. In the end, his realization becomes a powerful lesson, not just for him, but for you as well. It's a reminder of the impact you've made, the standards you've set, and the strength you've built within yourself. Whether or not he chooses to act on this realization is irrelevant. What matters is that you continue to honor the unwavering strength that makes you who you are. As he grapples with this final stage, you're already ahead, embracing the life you've created and the growth you've achieved. His understanding of your strength is a testament to what you brought to his life, but for you, it's just another chapter in your journey. And this journey, it's yours to own, shaped by the power you carry and the resilience you've cultivated. As he sits with this newfound understanding of your strength, he starts to question himself, not in a superficial way, but deeply, introspectively. What kind of person walks away from something so rare? Why didn't he notice your quiet resilience when he had the chance? These thoughts swirl, pulling him into an emotional reckoning that's both humbling and transformative. He begins to see the ripple effect of your strength on his life. You weren't just a partner, you were a force of stability, growth, and inspiration. Even in your absence, your influence lingers. He may find himself reacting to challenges differently, attempting to channel the calm composure he saw in you. In this way, your unwavering strength becomes not only something he misses but also something he aspires to emulate. But here's where it becomes even more powerful. While he's reflecting on what your strength meant to him, you've moved forward, continuing to build on the foundation of self-respect and resilience that has always defined you. His realization, while significant, doesn't alter your path. You're no longer waiting for recognition, approval, or understanding. You've already given yourself those things. And that's the ultimate form of empowerment. This is the brilliance of Dark Stoic Psychology in action. By stepping back and focusing on yourself, you've not only redefined your own life, you've created a space where others are forced to see your value. But the key isn't in their recognition, it's in your ability to thrive regardless. That's the essence of Stoicism. Finding strength within, detached from external validation and rooted in self-mastery. For him, this journey may inspire growth or leave him with lingering regret. Either way, it's a reflection of the choices he made and the lessons he's now learning. For you, it's a reminder that your strength isn't dependent on anyone's acknowledgement. It's a part of who you are, steady, unwavering, and uniquely yours. And as you continue to walk forward, embracing your life with clarity and purpose, you carry that strength into every relationship, every challenge, and every opportunity. It becomes a beacon, not for others to follow, but for you to navigate by. His realization may mark the end of one chapter, but for you, it's just the beginning of something even greater. As we come to the end of this journey, one truth stands out above all. Your worth has never been tied to anyone else's recognition or realization. The strength, patience, and depth you bring to the world are intrinsic. They've always been a part of you, shaped by your own resilience and self-respect. His understanding of what he's lost may be powerful, but it's only a reflection of the light you've carried all along. This isn't just a story about him realizing your value. It's about you stepping into your power, embracing the lessons life has offered, and moving forward with clarity and grace. His journey through loss and realization is his own, but your journey is one of growth, independence, and fulfillment. And in choosing to focus on yourself, you've not only reclaimed your energy, you've transformed your life. Let his regrets serve as a reminder, not of what you've left behind, but of how far you've come. Every moment of silence, every step away from what didn't honor your worth, has brought you closer to the life you deserve. And as you continue to build that life, your unwavering strength becomes a foundation not just for you, but for the meaningful connections that lie ahead. Now, let's take this conversation further. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which part of this journey resonated with you the most? Was it the power of silence, the realization of your unique value, or the reminder of your inner strength? Share your reflections in the comments, or simply affirm your commitment to growth by writing, "I am rooted in my worth." If you found this video insightful, like it to let me know you're with me on this path, and subscribe to the channel so we can continue exploring the power of self-respect, stoicism, and personal transformation. Together, we're uncovering the lessons that lead to a life of clarity, peace, and fulfillment. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, your worth is unshakable, your strength is unmatched, and your story is only just beginning. Until next time, keep growing, keep thriving, and keep standing in your power. I'll see you in the next video.